So this is going to be my first Red Crest. Last year was my rookie season on the Bass Pro Tour. I was fortunate enough to have a great year, finished up 4th in points, and that qualified me for this event. You know, I'm very fortunate to have a great start to the year. You know, we just finished up at Clarks Hill, ended up winning that event, and won the event earlier this season at Sam Rayburn, you know, so things have been going really, really well. I'm very thankful for that, and just trying to ride that momentum into this Red Crest event. Coming into Red Crest, I'm actually really excited. You know, championship events are a little bit different, and I look at them, you know, in a sense that, you know, you work really hard to get to those events, and when you get there, it's not something to be nervous or anything like that about. It's a fun week. It's an opportunity to really set yourself apart and win one of those high-level championship events. Not fishing for points in this event is kind of, you know, kind of sets it apart in a sense that you really got to go for it, you know, and these are 40 of the best anglers in the world, so they're gonna bring it. You know, everybody really wants to win this event, so it's everybody swinging for the fence in this event. You know, everything has to be on the line. So going into practice, we've had a little bit of warm weather, but we've got some cold weather coming. So, you know, I try to practice looking at the forecast, trying to anticipate what's gonna be going on. We've got a full moon right now. The trees are blooming. It seems like spring is here.
Well, guys, you know, here at Norman, it is full of boat docks and piers and shallow targets and stuff. And that Lew's Pro SP skipping and pitching reel with a 7-1 heavy action Andy Montgomery special. So I guess it's only right to town his jig too. Hopefully it's gonna find some Lake Norman bass today. We are fixing to get practice rocking and rolling here at Red Crest, man. I am fired up. This will be my first Red Crest event. This place is supposedly loaded with bass. We're gonna catch a ton of fish, hopefully. And hopefully we figure out how to catch a couple big ones. But it's gonna be a fun week regardless. Really, really excited about getting out there and figuring out this place. Today, you know, my goal is really to kind of get a feel for the lake. Like I said earlier, I've never been on the lake. Don't really know a whole lot about it. I do know there's a couple power plants that are gonna probably affect water temperature in some areas. See, like it's 58, 59 degrees here. I'm gonna run around the lake and I'm gonna try to see a lot of the lake today. I just wanna get comfortable in an area of the lake. And if I can do that, I think we'll be in good shape. Dang, come off. Bait's all fouled up. A bunch of them schooled up right here. Once you miss one or two of them like that, it don't take long to educate them. So that was interesting. So those fish were right there where they're supposed to be. There's a creek swing right there on that point, and them fish are sitting right there off that point, suspended over that creek swing. And that's pretty typical for this time of year. Them fish will sit up there and they'll feed on herring or whatever the bait is in the area, and then they'll move up there and spawn. I'd like to be able to, you know, eventually to get an area where I feel like I can get a quick limit and then go hunt for largemouth the rest of the day. I mean, the water's 60 degrees, so the weather's gonna be kind of consistent throughout the week until the weekend. But yeah, man, it feels good, you know, coming off a wind, but look, that, you know, the thing about it is that was last week. It's a new week, you know, and it's new lake, new conditions. I mean, that week's over, you know, it's time to go back to work and start over. Pretty little spotted bass. That's a good fish, man. That's a nice spot. 2.5 pound spotted bass. That's good. You know, I use Garmin units, and I've got 3 units up here. I've got 2 10s and I've got a 12. I use a 10 for mapping, I use a 10 for perspective mode, I use a 12-inch up here for forward. Live scope. It's really a great setup. I can see the bottom with the perspective mode, and I can see the water column with my forward facing sonar. It's a great way to cover the entire water column. I can see kind of everything that's going on. You know, whenever you come to a lake like this that you've never been to before, it allows me to, you know, break down the water quickly, be able to see everything that's around the boat in live time, and it really makes it an efficient process for breaking down these new bodies of water that I've never been to. A lot of times I'm really using my forward-facing sonar for looking at structure more than I'm looking at fish. I mean, yeah, I use it to catch individual fish, but a lot of times I'm gonna target, you know, the structure itself. That's a dang good one. Probably shouldn't have caught that one. Pretty fish. First lay down that I pitched to. There ain't a whole lot of beds. Another one on bed right there, a little one. It's evident that these fish are getting ready to spawn. There's some that are spawning now, but for the most part, I think a lot of them are just getting ready. They're moving in the back of these pockets, they're staging on these docks, and this tournament's gonna be one shallow. I feel pretty confident in that. Somebody's gonna find the right areas with the right largemouth, and that's gonna be key. So we're gonna work our butts off the rest of the practice to find those areas. Just wrapped up practice yesterday. We're getting all of our tackle prep. As you can see here, I kind of make one heck of a mess to make a really neat boat. So everything turns into a complete mess just to kind of go through everything, make sure we've got it all organized and ready to go, make sure we have everything in the boat that we need. But we're really excited about this week. It's gonna be a great event. There's gonna be a lot of fish caught. One good thing kind of about what's going on here for me is that I'm gonna keep it real simple this week. I'm gonna, simply put, I'm gonna take this Ocho and this Signature Series rod with a custom light, and I'm gonna skip it under as many docks as I possibly can. And I'm gonna pray that 5 largemouth every day bite, and I get 5 of them in the boat. You know, these fish are staging up, they're wanting to spawn, the water temperature is warming up, we've got a full moon. Even though we're gonna have some cold weather this week, the water temperature, I don't believe in the areas I'm gonna fish is gonna cool down that much. And I think these fish, you know, they're just staging on these docks, they're getting ready and they're not going anywhere. So, you know, we're gonna run as many pockets as I possibly can, little small creeks, areas close to the main lake. In practice, I was able to find some areas that had largemouth and had, you know, some nice ones. It's just gonna be trying to get those fish to bite in that clear water. I think we're gonna have some pretty good conditions as far as a little bit of wind, and that may help get those bites that we need, but we'll see. It should be a great event. I think 12 pounds a day makes top 10. Really? If you can catch, if you catch 12 every day. Yeah. Like, you might catch 12 and, you know, be in 15th place or whatever, you know, the first day, but then you catch 12 again, and then you catch 12 again. I mean, I caught one yesterday that I think was probably 3. I kind of started getting some bites, some spotted bass bites yesterday that was pretty nice, and honestly, I was catching them the same way I was catching them at Clark's Hill, just like putting the trolling motor on high and just going down the bank, like around those kind of secondary points and places like that they're like gonna kind of stage at, you know. And it seems like, you know, so like you go out in the middle of the lake, you can find like schools of spotted bass together chasing bait, like in the middle of the pockets and stuff, but they're little, like little bitty ones. But if you find like a single going down the bank, it was a 2.5 pounder, and I think those are those females that are kind of broke off from the school, and they're just fixing to go spawn, so they're just kind of hanging out off the bank. You know, last year was my rookie year on the Bass Pro Tour, and I was very thankful to have a good season and to qualify for Red Crest. But, you know, it's pretty special being here, you know, having the opportunity to compete in one of the largest events in bass fishing against some of the legends of the sport. You know, Kevin's going to be in here. He announced this was going to be his last year competing on the Bass Pro Tour. And, you know, it's really exciting to get to compete against legends of the sport, guys that I looked up to my entire life, growing up as a kid, dreaming to have the opportunity to fish at the level that they're fishing, much less against them, you know. So it's just an awesome opportunity to be here at Red Crest on Lake Norman here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and to have that opportunity to win, you know, is really going to be an awesome thing. And, you know, hopefully we have a good event and things go well. But, you know, one thing about championship events is, like, you know, you work really hard to get to those events, you know, and whenever you get there, it's kind of a cool deal, because you don't have to stress about points, you don't have to stress about anything. You just have to focus on winning. It's different, you know, in a sense that if you bomb out, you know, it's not going to cost you the rest of the season. So you can kind of take those chances and swing for the fence, so to speak, to try to make sure that you're around winning fish.
In his first year on the Bass Pro Tour, he finished 4th in Angler of the Year points. He comes from Texas, representing Toro, Lose, and Strike King. Already won 2 events here in 2023. It's Dakota Ebare.
You know, the weather's thrown us a curveball today, totally different conditions. We're gonna have to put the trolling motor down and go fishing, figure it out today. You know, I feel good about it. It's gonna be a great day. We're just gonna have to adjust to the conditions and make the right moves today, but it's gonna be a great time on the water, guys. it's going to be interesting because I've never been on this lake, but I just fished a tournament not far away last week on Clark's Hill. You know, it's only a state away, but it's still kind of in the same regions, kind of sets up the same a little bit, but each lake I'm sure will be unique in their own ways. Well guys, I just wrapped up day one here at the Red Crest on Lake Norman, and it didn't go the way that I was hoping it'd go. I just spent way too much time today, in hindsight, doing stuff that I shouldn't have been doing. I know that these largemouth are getting ready to spawn. They're in the back of these pockets, and I really should have focused on that, and I'm really ticked off that I didn't. I spent too much time out on points and stuff trying to catch spotted bass, and then I did that, and that's why I have 10 pounds. I went in the back of one pocket, caught a 213 off a bed, you know, female, and seen several more, and it was a little bit too late at that point. So tomorrow I've really got to utilize the opportunities that I get and be efficient with my time and stay in those high percentage areas. That's one thing about this event. You know, this is 40 of the best anglers in the world. It is a stacked field. You know, I had 10 pounds a day, and you know, it's probably not a bad day on this lake right now given the conditions, but the reality of it is that I'm facing 40 of the best anglers in the world, and they are relentless. I mean, these guys are stone cold killers, man. We're gonna have to get some cowboy grit and gonna have to make a comeback tomorrow. Honestly, you know, I mean, it's possible. It's just hard to do on a place like this where everybody's catching really, really close to the same weights. I mean, but it's possible. You know, I'm gonna need 14, 15 pounds tomorrow to have a chance to make that cut. If I can figure out enough to make the cut, it's gonna put me in the right place to be in good contention for the rest of the event. I'm just gonna have to really work my butt off tomorrow and make it happen.
Good morning guys, here we are at day 2 Red Crest. You know, we dug a hole yesterday and we are in a spot where we've got to catch a big bag today to be able to make a comeback. I'm being optimistic about it because I feel like if I figure out whatever I need to figure out to catch that 15, 16 pounds to make a comeback today, then I'm gonna be in good shape the rest of the event because I'll be right where I need to be. We're gonna do some different things today, but we're gonna work as hard as we can and try to make a comeback in this deal.
Going out in boat number 37, he sits in 34th with 10 pounds flat, all the way from Texas, representing Toro, Lose, and Strike King. He's already had 2 wins here in 2023. Can he make it a third one? Let's hear it for none other than Dakota Ebare!
Thank you, Lord Jesus. Yes, we're going to the freaking knockout round, boys. Boom, baby! We going to the freaking round now, son. Yeah!
Hey guys, just wrapped up day 2 of qualifying here at Red Crest. You know, we was very fortunate to come back, have a major comeback today. I caught 16 pounds and change, had a great day. Yeah, you know, that first big one that I caught, it was like a 4.4, you know, that really put me above the cut for the first time in the event. And you talk about a relief, you know, I mean, it felt great. I kept hustling, and then caught the second 4-pounder, which really put me over the top. So that was a great thing about today, was that I got to spend the last 2 hours of the day looking and preparing for the knockout round. right, guys, we made it to the knockout round. I was saying yesterday we had to have a big comeback, and you know, we were very fortunate to be able to do that. I ran to the right quality fish, and I'm hoping that sets me up for the rest of the event. Like I was saying yesterday, if I was fortunate enough to make a big comeback like I was able to do, I think it would at least put me around the right quality fish to have contention to do really well in the tournament. The curveball today is the weather. So we've got, you know, rain. It's going to be windy today, cloudy all day. So, you know, totally different than it was yesterday, but I still think those fish are still going to be set up in the same locations. They just may set up a little bit differently, like on the structure, the docks that I'm fishing or stuff like that. But, you know, I found a couple of really nice fish on beds yesterday, so that could be a key player even today with it being cloudy, if I can still see those fish. The water's pretty clean, so we'll just have to see how it goes and just play it, you know, by ear today. Let's go from, you know, take it one cast at a time. Just finished up the knockout round here at Lake Norman, Red Crest. We ended up in 10th place, so we qualified for the semifinal round. And we've got a lot of work to do, but you know, tomorrow we're gonna have some sun. I think it might set those fish up a little bit better. Today was just kind of slow and steady, nothing great. Seen some really big ones, had an opportunity at a couple really big ones, just didn't happen. But you know, there's always tomorrow, so hopefully we can stay in that top 10 and make it a championship Sunday. All right, guys, here we are, knockout round 2 at Red Crest. All right, we've got a chance to make it to Championship Sunday. We're gonna have to finish in the top 10. We're gonna have to have a good day. But the conditions have changed again. We've got high skies, lots of wind. Gonna have to make a few adjustments. But I think if we stay in the right areas and be persistent, make good, you know, good presentations all day and just make good decisions, I think we'll be all right. I'm not gonna change my strategy too much, you know, going into it, and I may have to adjust throughout the day, but I still think these fish are gonna be wanting to stage. They're gonna be in those pockets. They're not gonna turn around and swim all the way back to the main lake. They're gonna stay in those same areas, just may have to do a little bit of different stuff to get them to bite.
What I'm talking about, man. That was an awesome bite, dude.
All right, guys, we just finished up here at Red Crest, ended up 13th place. You know, pretty disappointed with the fact that we didn't make the top 10 and have the opportunity to fish on Championship Sunday. I felt like I was running the right pattern, running these little shallow spawning pockets. The fish were really moving in there. I just could not capitalize today. Had a couple opportunities at some really big fish. You know, it's been kind of an emotional roller coaster for this event because I've done, you know, really well at times and then struggled at times. But you know, I guess I should be thankful. 13th place isn't terrible, but you know, we're here to win and ready for the next tournament so I can get back on track.
Our next angler started the day above the Toro cut line, fell down to 13th. Let's hear it for Dakota Ebare! Oh, just because you started past the finish line didn't mean that's where it ended up for you today.
No, this is a humbling sport, I promise you. It will humble you quickly. It didn't work out, but thankful for a great week. It's another good event, and really looking forward to getting to Cherokee next week.
You know, I met some of your biggest supporters out at the launch in the morning, and that's family.
Yeah, you know, family, friends, you know, I've worked with some great business partners in this sport, and really thankful for all of that. Thankful to have some family here, and met some new friends this week, so it's been a great week, man.
A great ambassador to the sport. Let's hear it for Dakota Ebare!